Hi, I'm Sherry Howard. This is Hildegard, and welcome to Soulsculpting. Today, I'm on the lookout for ordinary joys. Extraordinary joys come every now and then, like Hildegard, but ordinary joys are around me all the time. For example, I love watching the chickens and the goats as they interact. I love the way that bark twists on old juniper cedar trees. I love watching wind blowing in branches. These are the ordinary joys that are around me. What are the ordinary joys that are around you right now? What can you smell or see or hear that brings you an ordinary joy? Our job this week is to spot these. And we will do the Joy Hunt JIG this week. It is a 1-minute sculpting project, and it works like this. The J of the Joy Hunt JIG is for joy. So our job is to spot an ordinary joy that's around us this week. Then the I of the Joy Hunt JIG is to install. We install the ordinary joy into our brain by giving it focused attention for 10 to 30 seconds. We savor it. If we can get some emotion drawn up, that installs it even better in our brain. So J, joy, I, install in our brain, and G of the JIG, gratitude. We express gratitude to God. This is our project for the week, the Joy Hunt JIG. The goals of the sculpting project are to 1, connect us more deeply to God, and 2, to help us to thrive, remembering that when we are thriving, everyone around us will also thrive. Joy and well-being are socially contagious. So how does the Joy Hunt JIG meet our goals of connecting more deeply with God and helping others thrive? Choosing joy, choosing to express joy, is encouraged in Scripture many times. Think of Philippians 4:4. Rejoice in the Lord always. I say again, rejoice. Or 1 Thessalonians 5:16, again, encourages us to choose into joy. Gratitude verses are prevalent in Scripture. Psalm 100, verse 4, enter his gates with thanksgiving, give thanks to God. Ephesians 5:20 and 1 Thessalonians 5:18, always and for everything give thanks to God. Colossians 2:6 encourages us to abound in thanksgiving. Choosing gratitude, choosing to express it to God, deepens our connection with God. How does the Joy Hunt JIG increase our thriving? Let's begin with J, joy. We know that a common end-of-life regret is that we did not choose into joy more. We know that instinctively we know that a happy heart is good medicine, Proverbs 17:22. Ironically, many of us struggle with joy, and I am one of them. I know that joy is fleeting, at least the big joys are, and so therefore I will hesitate to enter in. Other people feel that joy, to buy into joy, is inviting disaster into their life. Joys can be fleeting, and times can be hard. But rather than avoiding joy, we are better served by fully embracing joy, because that's what fortifies us for the difficult times. We know that people who suffer traumatic loss value the most the memory of these ordinary joys in their life. Choosing into joy can be challenging, but it is a brave step towards thriving. The I of the JIG, the installing of joy, this is how it helps us thrive. Bad things, they install really easily. And this is a useful function that God's built in, because these bad things, avoiding them, will keep us alive. But good things, they take a little more work to install. A few more seconds And so what we need to do is to focus our attention for 10, 20, 30 seconds on a good thing, savor it, get into it, and then we will install it in our brain. Our brains are continually changing and growing, and what we choose to focus on changes the actual structure of our brain. When we choose to focus on joy, good, positive things, we're changing our brain to make them stronger for joy. And the reverse works. When we choose to focus on negative things, we're making our brain stronger for the negative. So it pays to choose to pay attention to what we give our attention to. Finally, the G. How does G help us thrive? Gratitude has been well researched in psychology for many years, and the list of findings is huge. Here are a few. Gratitude gives us more positive emotion, better sleep, connection with others, more stress resilience. It even helps us exercise more. What's it give it less? Gratitude practices promote less depression, less greed, less envy, less resentment, and less physical pain. Gratitude is a foundational practice for the happy life. So I have a tip this week for how to do the Joy Hunt Gratitude Jig. The project will take us 1 minute a day, so time is not our issue, and ordinary joys are in abundance. The biggest challenge we'll probably find is remembering. So here's your tip from psychology. Attach your Joy Hunt jig to something you already do. You can attach it to lunch. After I have lunch, I will spend 1 minute doing the Joy Hunt jig. Or before I go to bed, or when I wake up in the morning, or when I'm headed off to work. Attach this project to something you're already doing, and it will aid your remembering. You might want to do a post-it note or a notification to yourself at the very beginning until you can thoroughly connect it in. Once you've done this, you'll develop a habit that will not be difficult to remember or maintain. So this week, the Joy Hunt jig is J, spot an ordinary joy this week. Second, install it in your brain by spending 10 to 30 seconds of focused attention, savoring, enjoying, finding emotion for this joy. And then G, gratitude. Express your gratitude to God. May you and I find abounding joy this week. Thank you for joining me. Please post your findings in our Facebook Soulsculpting group or share it with a friend. Thanks for listening.